Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. And as promised for my 10,000 subscribers special, I have successfully converted the entire desert atom structure into an Aegis missile base. Now as a bonus, you also get a thermonuclear missile inside your cooling tower. But yeah, the entire structure is perfect for making an Aegis missile base. Now if we take a look on the inside, this is how it's gonna look like. And before actually showing you how this entire thing is made, I want to show you how this thing functions. So there are three levers which control the gates of this entire base. So if I flick lever 2 and 3, the gates for the vertical launch system are going to open. Now if we try and launch a missile from here, you can see the launch through this window, and there goes a missile. So if I quickly teleport to the target location, there we go. So the base is functioning perfectly, and yeah, without any further ado, let's get straight into it. When starting out, the desert atom is going to look something like this, an extremely radioactive place spewing out radiation everywhere. Now, if for some reason you are making this in survival, then looting this building is going to be important as there are a lot of valuable machines and chests in here. But I don't see why you are gonna do that because Aegis can only be accessed in creative mode. But yeah, for some reason you are making this in survival, then make sure to loot this place first. Now, first step is going to be getting rid of all the radioactive barrels that are placed outside like this. Now, for the other radioactive things, there's a nuclear bomb present on the bottom of the cooling tower, and then inside the reactor building, there are a lot of radioactive barrels as well. So get rid of all of them in order to get rid of the radiation from the surrounding areas. So once that's done, also clean up a little bit, and now we can working a little bit on the exterior. So the entire building or the entire main building is 9 blocks high in total. Make sure to keep a placeholder block like this and then clear out the inner building using world edit. So the entire inner building has been cleared, and if you want to use the antenna in your build, then just cut it for now and paste it somewhere else. We can use it once our build is complete. There we go. Alright, so this is what we have to work with. So first things first, let's make the entire build a little bit more even and symmetrical. So get rid of all these chain link fences and barbed wires, and then you can start extending the chain link fences one up and making them basically 3 blocks high in total. And on top of them, we can place the barbed wires, making it total 4 high. So once the entire process is complete for all the sides, you have now 3 high chain link fences and also barbed wires. The gate is going to look something like this. And now what you need to do is replace all of the flooring with concrete, and make sure to replace it and not set it, because you want the hollow areas inside the reactor building and the cooling tower in the future. So once you have replaced all of the flooring with concrete, this is how it's gonna look like. Time to clean up the cooling tower and the reactor building. So get rid of any unnecessary connection like this, and also get rid of the interior buildings. Now we need to take care of water, and for doing that I'm going to use sponge from thermal expansion. Now you can use world edit if you want to, and yeah, basically there are many ways of getting rid of water. I'm going with sponge. So that's the cooling tower taken care of. Now let's take care of the reactor or the containment building. So once you have taken care of all the water in the containment building as well, get rid of the glass and make sure that you are making a 3x3 block like this, or a 3x3 gap like this. Now time to make the entire containment building a bit more symmetrical. So that's that. Alright, now 2 blocks down on the third block we are going to have our ceiling. So using concrete tiles or any block of your choice, make a ceiling first, and then we can get rid of the blocks on the upper side like this. So that working with this is a little bit easier. And also leaving only the gate side, get rid of the interior walls on all 3 sides like this. Remove any gravel that might be present and replace it with concrete for now. So now if we go inside, this is how a build is going to look like. Much easier to work with. Replace all of the flooring with concrete tiles so that it looks even. And yeah, we are ready to place our first build, which is going to be the UYK43. Set it to ADS, bring out one block, C and D, and then one to the left, the WCS or the weapon control system. Now extend some gray cables like this, connect them to two UYK44s and set them to missile FCS. The missile FCS is going to be connected to the WCS. There's a wall that's going to go right here, so break down one, and now we can extend some cable for our screen. So come out by 5 blocks, one in front, and then place down your radar monitor. It's going to fit perfectly with the wall like this. Now come out by 4 more blocks, and then by 1 and place down your weapon controller. So these are the places that we are going to have for our weapon controller and our radar monitor. Now to fill up the floor, place some stone slabs like this. And make sure to make a little platform area on which you can go and climb, and yeah, have a border like area for the entire screen system. So that's one thing done. Now let's make the containment building look a little bit better. So get rid of any unnecessary blocks and make it look more even, and make a small foundation like this. Once that's done, the entire containment building needs to be 14 blocks high in total. So raise all of the upper blocks until they are 14 blocks high in total. Like this. And now we get rid of the placeholder blocks and complete the containment build. So it will now start looking more like a tower. Now in here we are going to place down our spy system. So break down a gate like block like 2 by 1, and then from the UYK43, which had the like spy one on it, or the CND on it, I'm sorry, extend some wires in the containment building like this, so that they are underground. You won't be able to see any cables on top of the ground. So extend some gray cables going all the way in from the CND, and coming in here, we are going to connect our remaining UYK43s. So one UYK43 is going to be for Spy 1. Now this Spy 1, we are going to connect the Spy 6 radar. And also on the cable, place down two UYK44s, and these are going to be set to surface radar. So we are going to have two surface radars and one spy system. Extend cables going all the way top, make a 3 by 3 structure like this, and place down Spy 1, the 6 block variant. And there we have a tower holding the spy blocks. Next up, cover up any open remaining areas like this. And now to make it look more robust, you can add some more foundation blocks on the base of the containment building like this. And make sure that the base matches the entire exterior. And once that's complete, now the containment building is going to look more like it can handle the weight of the Spy 1 radars that have been placed on top of it. Also, for making the top, extend some more blocks in the following fashion, and yeah, do that on all of the sides so that it doesn't look like the spy radars are hanging midair. And with that, we have completed the tower which is going to hold all of the spy radars. Now it's time to extend some more cables from the UYK44 that we placed before for our surface radar. Now these cables are going to come out right here, and these cables, by the way, are going to be white cables, not gray ones. So start connecting some white cables and make sure that the UYK44s are set to surface radars, and bring them to the side and into the corner going all the way to the top. So that's the cable for surface radars. Now we also need to extend some cable for the SPG or the missile FCS. So this missile FCS is going to sit on the front of the build, and the surface radar cable is going to sit on the back side of the build. So now we have two white cables on the front side. Place down your SPG62 and make sure that this is connected to the UYK44, which is set to missile FCS. Now for placing the surface radars, we need to make a structure which looks like it can actually handle the weight of these radars. So make a 5 by 3 base, and then on top of it a 3 by 3 structure going 4 blocks high. And once you have done that, copy the entire structure and paste it after leaving a 3 block gap in the between. So there we have two structures which are going to hold a surface radar. Make some space in the middle for the white cable to go and then extend the cable all the way up and do the same for both of them. And once that's done, cover up the buildings like this. And now we can place our two surface radars which are going to be the OPS-28 and the AN-SPS-49. And once both of them are placed, it's going to look something like this. So with this, we have placed all of our radars. Now it's time to place the missile VLS or the vertical launch system. For that, dig out an 11 block long area in front of the cooling tower and make it total 26 blocks long. Once you do that, it's going to extend all the way to the back until it reaches the border of our build like this. So that's 11 by 26 area which we have dug out. Now we need to make this total 10 blocks deep. And that's counting the surface. So right now I am going to dig by 1 and then by 8 more in order to make it 10 deep in total. So once you have this area, pick out any block of your choice. I am going to go with discreetly and now place some corner blocks and make a 9 by 9 wall like this. Once the 9 by 9 wall is done, make an 11 by 9 wall. So on the width side, you are going to have 9 and on the length side, you are going to have 11, which we can verify by making sure that it's 99 blocks. So 11 by 9 is 99. Do the same thing here as well. Place some more corner blocks and complete this build by making a 9 by 9 wall like this. There we go. So that's one structure complete for one VLS. Now let's make a similar structure touching the very first structure. The dimensions are going to be exactly the same. They are going to be touching and it's going to fit very perfectly in the space that we have made right here. So there we go. Now we have two containment buildings for our vertical launch system. Make sure to make the base of the same material as well. Now start digging down from the WCS or the weapon control system, as we need to connect a missile VLS from this very UIK-43. So dig out in a 2x2 fashion until you reach the bottom into the first VLS area. And now we need to do the same thing for the second VLS as well. So the reason we are digging a 2x2 tunnel is that so that we can walk in easily and refill or resupply our VLS with missiles. That's why you need to make a tunnel where you can walk comfortably. And the wire from the UIK-43 can come down here. Now in the middle, leaving 2 block gap from every side, make a structure on top of which you are going to place your MK-159 or Mark 159 VLS. Dig out 3 blocks for the cables to connect and do this on both the sides. Now bring down your gray cable and extend them to both of the VLS like this. And in this way we are going to connect our WCS with the UIK-44, which is going to be set to missile VLS. And now connect this missile VLS to the actual vertical launch system using white cables, not gray but white. And do the same thing on the other side as well. So this tunnel is going to be really handy and helpful for you to come down and take care of your VLS system. So now once all of this is done, you need to cover the entire thing with concrete until it's like too wide. So there we have placed our first layer and now we place a second layer of concrete. Let's do the same thing here as well. So now we have two wide layers of concrete placed on both of the VLS systems. To make the gate of this system, we are going to use a drawbridge from Tinker's MechWorks. In one drawbridge, place down 3 concrete blocks, in one of them place 2, and then for camouflage, set both of them to concrete. So now we have 2 drawbridges, one with 3 blocks and one with 2 concrete blocks. Start placing the one with 3 in an alternating manner like this on both of the VLS, and then in the gaps in between, place down the drawbridge which has 2 blocks. So we are going to have an alternating pattern of 3, 2, 3, 2 and so on. There we go. Now in order to power all of these drawbridges, I'm going to use the sticky redstone and wireless redstone receiver. By the way, links to all of the mods will be down in the description. So set two different frequencies for each gate or each door, silo door, whatever you want to call it. So one I have set 2 and for another one I have set 3. And in order to test this real quick, I'm going to have two transmitters, and as you can see, both of them are working perfectly. Now in a similar fashion, you can make a gate for your entire build. And for the gate, I'm going to use chain link fences, and in the camouflage block, I'm going to use concrete. And for this frequency, I'm going with 1. Once you have done all of this, now you can start covering up your build and all of the walls that we made. Make some windows so that there's light, and yeah, we can, or basically I am also going to install additional lights from Electrical Edge. You can have other light sources as well. Place down 3 levers with each of the frequency for one gate and the 2 silo doors that we have. So I'm going to set the frequency to 1, 2 and 3. Now on the top, make sure to have a boundary which is at least 2 blocks high. And once that's done, in order to texture all of it up, you can use the command, but the command is going to be a little bit different for you, as the values of concrete and the broken and messy concrete is going to be different. But yeah, in this way you can texture your build up. And in the cooling tower, if you want, you can have a missile as well. So I'm going with a thermonuclear missile in my cooling tower, which can be launched in a state of emergency. So that's the cooling tower missile done. And with that, our entire build is actually complete. Now in order to test it, here you can see all of the silo doors are closed. If I flip the lever, the silo doors open, and now our missiles are ready for launching. So if I set a target position, which I have here, and assign a missile, done, and fire, you will be able to see the entire launch sequence from this window. And there goes our missile. Now if I quickly teleport to the launch position, basically, the target position, you should be able to see the missile destroying the turbine. There we go. So the system is working perfectly. Our base is complete. And this is how, by the way, the final interior is going to look like. You can make it look much better than I can. So yeah, interior designing isn't my strong suit. So yeah guys, I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, do smash that like button and also subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Peace out my dudes, stay safe.